The Steven Universe fandom is in shambles.
It always has been.
And the first thing I was thinking when I read this news, and I'll tell you all the details in a moment, but the first thing I was thinking is, I didn't even realize that there still was a Steven Universe fandom, to be quite frank. Like, I never got into the show, but I do remember years ago hearing about how...
Oh, dude. It is canonical that Steven Universe fucked his dad. Straight up. There's all kinds of pedophilia going on. It's absolutely disgusting. I think everybody involved in that show, probably, even the person that's being canceled right now, should have their hard drives checked, and probably half of them arrested just out of principle of writing that pedo slop.
How terrible this fandom was. Like, one of the most infamous examples of online harassment in a fandom did come from the Steven Universe fandom, where large parts of the fandom on Tumblr harassed an artist into nearly taking their own life because they were so offended that the artist drew the character Rose Quartz thinner than she is in canon. These performative couch activist weirdos were seething, calling it fatphobic. There's other examples of toxicity in this fandom, and toxicity even seems like it's putting it lightly, given what went on. But, for example, when part of the fandom was harassing a storyboard artist because they were upset about shipping or something. Keep in mind, this was back during like the height of terminally online shipping discourse. And as I've always said, it's one thing to ship characters and have fun with it, go ahead. But some people start taking shipping way too seriously. They literally start like harassing people over ships. All of that is obviously very cringe behavior, to say the least. And it actually still gets worse, because another situation had involved a terminally ill child who wanted to watch some episodes of Steven Universe early, which is tragic to think about. That a child would even have to think about not having time left, that they'd have to face their own mortality.
It is tragic to think about a child wanting to watch Steven Universe before they die. That's fucking crazy to me. You should not be allowing children to watch that show. You should not get to the point where a child wants to watch that show.
And allegedly, this child did get that wish granted. They saw some episodes early and then posted some info about it online, which resulted in a big Steven Universe YouTuber mocking the child and harassing the child online. So that's some very brief context into
a Steven Universe YouTuber? What the fuck are we doing?
To some of the main controversies in this fandom. But this, of course, is not like a formal reporting video. It's just some recollections. This is to say, consider looking into any of that on your own for more details, for more information. But yeah, I thought the show was done. I thought all these controversies kind of made the fandom fall apart and it faded away, because I haven't really heard much about any of this in a long time. But I guess there were parts of the fandom that still did remain after all, and that takes us to today's news. And by the way, if you like the show and you're a reasonable person, you're not one of these crazy couch activist types, then you know, obviously none of this stuff is applying to you. But like I said, let's get to the news now. Let's see what's going on today. As we have ToonHive reporting Steven Universe fans are speculating that DD Magno Hall, the voice of Pearl, may support MAGA after noticing she follows Charlie Kirk and several MAGA-affiliated accounts on Instagram. The tweet getting over 5.3 million views on Twitter. They have a little compilation here, but there's another tweet.
You have to hate Trump in your cartoons. Did you know that? And you gotta not be okay with not wishing death upon people. You have to wish death upon people and actually have to celebrate the deaths of people that you dislike. Dude, absolutely fucking insane. Deport all these freaks. Get them out of my country. I'm tired of this shit.
That we'll take a look at that compiles things a bit more detailed.
Deport the leftoids.
This one from Possum Reviews reads, DD Magno Hall, the voice actress of Pearl from Steven Universe, got outed as a right-winger and Charlie Kirk fan, and Steven Universe fans are not handling it well at all. There's the larger compilation as mentioned.
Like, you can respect people who have differing opinions from you and not be on their side politically. I don't even know if this person is politically right-wing. And also, I don't fucking care.
So we'll take a look at their complaints. Let's talk about this really quick, because it's especially funny when you pause and really unpack this, because most people in fandoms in general general, tend to be
retarded.
apolitical, or are closer to apolitical than they are having a hardline stance to the left or the right. And people routinely have to see obnoxious, virtue-signaling, leftist corpos and other industry types like English voice actors constantly standing on moral soapboxes preaching down to others. And it's like, dude...
Like, bro, if you attach your personality and your identity to a fandom, you're retarded. Like, dude, get a fucking life. Go touch grass.
We know why they do this. It's because the Western entertainment industry is filled with some of the most fake and corrupt people out there. Like, if you don't share the exact same hive mind in politics with those people, it's significantly more difficult to get work, and for some it's even just impossible. So you constantly see English VAs virtue signaling.
That's why celebrities, that's why, like, what's his name, Simon Pegg, that's why he's playing Balrog, because you have to be part of the degenerate culture, or you get excommunicated and you don't get to be a celebrity anymore. And these celebrities are desperate to keep their status.
Just so they can try and show the union SAG-AFTRA and their corpo buddies that they're one of them too. They're just like them. It's all very performative, very fake, and very corrupt. It's an industry filled with nepotism and cronyism. And my point is, everyone in fandoms is very used to seeing stuff like this go down and having leftist politics pushed onto us by these authoritative figures in the space, which makes it funny how much leftists freak out when they find the extremely rare, vocally non-left-wing person in the industry. Like, oh no, there's actually a handful of people in the industry who don't fit the exact same hive mind as the rest.
Not for long.
How awful.
As soon as they get found out, they get pushed out.
As if 99% of the time, these people aren't forcing their politics onto everyone else. All right, let's have some fun and take a look at this compilation now.
Well, it's not politics for them. It's just real life. What, you're not for trans people? You want trans people dead? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Starting at the top, we've got, it's still messing me up that Dee Magno Hall is MAGA. Dee Magno Hall, Pearl from Steven Universe's VA, is MAGA. My whole day has been ruined.
I talk shit on PlayStation all the time, and people will be like, oh, you're just a MAGA chud. What? What are you talking about? Which I get it in this one more, but like it's just weird how they've turned that into an insult for people who aren't even a part of that weird Trump fart-sniffing cult.
The Dee Magno Hall situation is so weird. Because what do you mean you're most famous for voicing the craziest lesbian in animation history, but you're a Charlie Kirk fan? Genuinely bizarre. What is going on in her brain? Interested to know if she will be involved in Lars of the Stars? Lars of the Stars? What kind of name is that? Is that supposed to be like a spin-off show or something from Steven Universe?
Yes.
Guys, I can't wait to watch the new Lars of the Stars. Yes. Okay, bro.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard.
Excuse me. Now I feel a little bit bad. Look, okay, again, if you're not a crazy person and you're like, you just like these shows, fine, fair enough. But it's a funny name, all right? Let's continue. Because, well, she voices all the Pearls. Will they recast her? It's kind of strange to think of someone else voicing the Pearls, though. What do you mean the VA for Pearl from Steven Universe is MAGA? Woman, did you watch the show you gave your voice for 7 years? She's
That's
Zionist
what I'm saying.
too. What? How? Fucking how? The palpable rage. Y'all, Dee Magno Hall is MAGA. I'm so disappointed in her. I feel betrayed by Dee. Holy
Dude, I love
parasocial
it.
behavior.
I love it.
Honestly, and I feel like this would be a big slap in the face to her people because she's Filipino, by the way. What is this?
Wow,
Is the
what?
screenshot of
What does that have to do with anything?
that tweet from like the Toon thing or whatever from the beginning? Discussions. Oh no, I think it's just like an AI summary. Discussions surrounding Dee Magno Hall, best known as the voice of Pearl in Steven Universe, and right-wing or MAGA politics, stem from her social media activity. Fans noticed that she follows right-wing political accounts, including Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA.
Oh, so she actually is right-wing. Damn, okay, respect. Not respect for being a voice actress in the industry, being a voice actress for this pedo slop Steven Universe. But like, okay, yeah. Respect for standing on your principles, I guess, at least.
Sparking significant online debate across, and the rest gets cut off in a screenshot. Then there's that Toon account again talking about the speculations. Person says, this better be a joke. Another one saying, what do you mean Dee Magno Hall is a MAGA weirdo? Pearl, my beloved, how could you? And this one that says, Is there concrete evidence that Dee Magno Hall is a conservative other than her religious content?
You know that their heart rates spiked whenever they saw that news.
Maybe unpopular opinion, but I think it's very not woke to automatically assume Christian equals MAGA. I'm an atheist, so I don't follow faiths, but you know what they say about assuming. Response reading, from what I've seen, she followed Charlie Kirk on Insta plus other MAGA accounts. And there is a post from a few years back showcasing her liking Mark Hamill's America Stands with Israel tweet. And then this one with the broken heart spam saying, Dee Magno Hall follows Charlie Kirk on Twitter, call that MAGA light. This one is especially funny because they started blocking people in the quotes. So the tweet says, Dee Magno Hall, the voice of the lesbian Pearl from the woker cartoon Steven Universe's MAGA. There were 2 MAGA demons on the cast of Steven Universe. Dog. MAGA demon? Wow, that's mature. Which actually this person points out too. Is this person got blocked for this tweet. Says, imagine being a grown adult who is this disappointed over a children's cartoon, over a voice actor even. Pathetic. And the reason I say it looks like they got blocked is because if I refresh this, I don't think the tweet will pop up. Yeah, you can see. So this is pretty much what always seems to happen on Twitter, to my understanding. If someone blocks someone else, the quote tweet starts saying it's unavailable like this. Another person posting some satire in response saying, lol, you chuds getting all mad over a little bit of diverse representation in the Odyssey. Pearl was voiced by who? Who supports what? They got a response that reads, look, I was a longtime fan, and I'll be the first to say the writing got worse as time went on, and this fandom can be horrible at times. However, I'm curious as to why she of all people signed on to the show with all it entailed. It'd be like an illegal Hispanic man supporting Trump. Response says, because it's a paying gig. I wouldn't have any issue drawing a far left progressive comic if the pay was good enough. It's a job. This response is crazy.
Right?
First, the context. This person says in response to Two Knife posting that news we've been seeing, an image, a screenshot of another tweet that says, always funny when leftists go, quote, art is left wing, unquote, like they are not constantly double checking and breathing down the necks of every artist, musician, and actor to make sure they're not right wing, and making sure they lose everything they have if they are right wing. To which this user responded saying, leftists said they were shocked at me being right wing because I had a, quote, queer art style, unquote. Oh, brother. Look at this response from Kukurio. Says, dude, I'm more in the center, but I get a considerable amount of leftist wokies going, quote, it's a pity they're far right, unquote, yeah, right? Because the drawings are good.
Well, you are far right to them because they're so far left that even people on the left are considered far right.
Good and funny. Like Karen, you can consume and enjoy them. You don't need to publicly pretend you can't. Let's check this one out, too. This sounds crazy. I still remember the absolute outrage that artists that I followed on IG, not anymore, had when they found out you were right-wing. It was absolute madness, like you had committed some form of blasphemy. OP saying, you would have thought that I had legit eliminated someone from their reaction. So ultimately, it sounds like all of this Steven Universe stuff is because of people follow policing via Dee Magno Hall over on Instagram. And considering how toxic parts of that fandom have been for years, as mentioned way earlier in the video, I suppose it's a bit surprising it took him this long to find out, because he certainly seemed like the type of people that, would be follow policing years ago. Maybe Dee Magno Hall followed these accounts recently. I don't know. Who knows what the specifics are, but that's the situation. That is the latest. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend. I enjoyed it very much. A wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.
Dude, this whole situation is ridiculous. I love it so much. I love it when leftoids crash out on each other. Not saying that the voice actress is leftoid. I mean, she kind of is. But people, they have differing opinions, man. Like, people, for example, me. I have a lot of leftist to Democrat, talking points. I got some MAGA right-wing talking points. I don't just completely align with, one cult, I am outside of all of these cults. Oh, form your own opinion. I don't really have any opinions. My opinions change all the time. I'm kind of retarded. But I do have one consistent opinion, that these leftoids are absolute degenerates, and they deserve everything that they're getting.